Hello again, everyone. So here I am for part two of my story. In the first part, I spoke about who I was before Jorvik, kind of talked a little bit about my upbringing and where I come from. And in this part, I'm going to talk about the major event that led me to move to Jorvik. I did briefly mention last time that something big happened that kind of really drastically changed my life. And that thing was that in my sixth semester of university, kind of halfway through my second semester of my third year, my parents got in a tragic car accident. To this day, I don't really know what happened or how they died. The police investigation wasn't very thorough, but yeah, my sister and I lost both of them that same day. As you can imagine, things got really tough for us after that. Actually, my dad had a lot of debt that we weren't aware of, so we even had to uh, give up our stables and give it back to the city. But thankfully, I did manage to save most of our horses, except for a few that I had to sell to kind of afford our house and keep us from being evicted. Uh, yeah, so obviously things were pretty tough, and my sister actually ended up developing PTSD. I slipped into depression, and in the midst of everything, like in the middle of me trying to mourn my parents and trying to grieve them properly, and just feel that pain that I had growing inside me. I also had to deal with the city. I had to sign paperwork that gave away my second home, and it was just horrible. I even eventually had to drop out of university to save money to keep us stable because I needed to work double to be able to take care of my sister and I. Of course, my godfather Steve had urged us to move to Jorvik straight away as soon as he heard the news, but I didn't want to burden him because his own financial situation wasn't really that great either. After struggling for 6 months, though, I eventually did agree to move my sister and I to Jorvik with Steve in Silverglade. It was a very hard move at first, but I knew that I had to be strong for my sister, so I just gathered all the strength that I could and started working with him on his farm, taking care of the horses around there, training them, any horses that he was boarding, any horses that he owned, just kind of to get some money to just make us a bit more stable. And that was where I met and soon eventually actually bought two Jorvik Warmbloods, who I really love, Sandstorm and Hazel. I will obviously talk more about their story later on in upcoming posts. I even eventually went back to giving writing lessons. Once the news spread around Jorvik that I was in, Jorvik and was giving writing lessons, the job offers just kept flooding in. Our family name Shepka is pretty well known among equestrians, so I guess people just wanted to meet me and see how I could help their business grow. But because my sister was still heavily struggling with PTSD, I only took the job offers that were within Silverglade. As I slowly started coming out of my shell, I began to regain some hope. But Abigail wasn't really doing too well. I begged her for weeks to start equine therapy with me, and she eventually agreed. So I decided to start her sessions off with our gelding Coco. And as I had mentioned before, she never really cared much for horses, but the bond that she developed with that bay Connie was something out of this world. Honestly, it was amazing. That little horse re-sparked the flame of happiness and excitement in my sister's soul right before my eyes. It was one of the best things I have ever witnessed. As she got better session by session, I summoned the courage to branch out. I started getting to know the people of the land and eventually met you from South Hoof, and we hit it off instantly. His Desi origins helped me instantly click with him because he reminded me of my friends and family back home. I made pretty good ties with him and started working with him on his rescue ranch. I helped him heal the injured horses that he would rescue back to life and even taught him a few things about animal behavior. We were a great team. Honestly, he is the best. So shout out to Hugh. um Okay, future Amanda just kind of adding a comment because I just realized that I didn't explain. Desi means South Asian person, so anyone who's from the India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Kashmir, Pakistan, Afghanistan, just that kind of area. Okay, you guys can go back to the video now. Among the horses I helped him care for that he eventually gave me are Raven, the beautiful black Lusitano, Hunter, the cute little Welsh pony, Diablo, the stubborn Andy, and Brave Beauty, my gorgeous and very, very brave Frisian sport horse. I'm going to talk more about each of their stories in upcoming posts because honestly, their stories are amazing. After 3 years, Abigail and I had settled in, and I had earned enough money to send her to the best riding school in Jorvik, Silverglade Equestrian Center. I was so proud of her. Watching her go from this indifferent, shy girl to an amazing cross country and dressage champion was just like so rewarding. She began reminding me more. She began reminding me more of Mama more and more every day, both in like her looks and her unbelievable talent. So yeah, this pretty much sums up how and why we moved to Jorvik, and um, I think in the next video, I'm going to be talking about my latest move, which was to Firgrove, as some of you might know. And I'll talk more about our recent rescue, Raven. And then in upcoming posts, I'll talk about the rest of my horses and even like some of the horses that I had before coming to Jorvik. All of them, you know, like each and every animal or each and every person, pretty much each and every creature has their own story to tell, and it's really beautiful to just see how different not just people, like how they grow from adversity, how having a hard life, you know, it kind of helps them become stronger, and it's just very inspirational to me. But yeah, this is it for today. So I will see you guys again very soon. Take care, everyone.